we have memes, and this is quite, I would say, controversial theme because nobody knows if you can use the memes in the creatives because of the legal issues and all of the fun stuff. But the thing is, nobody cares that much. Depends. If you work with a big company, then their legal team usually cares much, but not anybody else. Anyway,
isn't it dependent on the?
This is no bullshit gaming podcast, 2.5 gamers. Sharing actionable insights, dropping knowledge from our day-to-day user acquisition, game design, and ad monetization jobs. We are definitely not discussing the latest industry news, but having so much fun. Let's not forget this is a 4 a.m. conference discussion vibe, so let's not take it too seriously.
All right, so welcome everybody. This is session number 85. My name is Matej Lančarič.
I'm Felix Braberg.
And I'm Jakub Remia.
We are your hosts, and also we are happy free consultants. Doing consultants on the UA, ad monetization, game design side. So, that's how it is. So, how's your week? What happened on the Heat conference or at the Heat conference, which I missed, obviously.
Me and Romeo, Jakub, Remia, we did a cappella 2-person rap battle, essentially talking live podcast, and it went really well. It was really appreciated. We had a lot of good feedback saying it was the best talk of the conference, actually.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
2 people said that.
It's not exactly. A talk, it was a stand-up.
It was actually a stand-up. Yeah.
Nice. I don't know. We just have to do these stand-ups and connected to knowledge sharing, I guess. It's always
but it was really interesting because I had like hybrid casual, then more hybrid casual, and then even more hybrid casual. And actually, on my panel at least, there were people from actual
hybrid casual.
From hybrid casual, and they were talking the thing that we're talking here, pretty much the same.
Nice.
They're all switching, so it's quite interesting to hear from actual people making games. I
had a panel, and we had a guy who was a partner at a law firm, like a big law firm, and he was specializing in GDPR. And it was quite interesting, and like his point of view. And then like I had a coffee with him afterwards where we're just standing at the table, and he's just like, man, GDPR has made me so much money. I'm like, man, GDPR has caused me so much fucking grief. I'm glad at least you're earning money from it.
Well, that's how it works. One person loses money, the other one kind of earns more. It's easy. So what are we talking about today? It's not a game review. Woohoo! So bring your own shit, I guess. Yeah, I know. I see some Black Friday bullshit on Admon side. You're quite in the end of the year, right? Thriving. I'm very disappointed, obviously, on the UA side. It's not great. But I'm not going to talk about that. I'm going to give you some tips how to run UA and different things. And then we have again Softlaunch Sonar, right? Exactly after 3 months. Exactly.
You can say a lot of things. You can say a lot of things about Jakub, but one thing is he's not he's punctual. Well, that's for damn sure.
He is. So in that case, I was supposed to do a creative. No, I was counting actually for the creative trends, and it's too early.
But the next creative trends you're combining with the Captain Hook Awards. That's the longer way to Captain Hook.
No. I will do a creative trend, and then we will do the Captain Hook episode. Maybe at the end of the year. We'll see. It's that's almost like a Christmas type of episode where we
or the 100th,
or 100, where we have a lot of fun. We'll see about that. Right. So what's up with Black Friday and the Admon?
Should I start? Yeah, I should start.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's essentially the joyous time of the year when we're only a couple of weeks away from the big magical ad monetization day, which is Black Friday.
Getting my Christmas ruined.
No. It's actually quite interesting because, like, financially, we're in like a very similar like overall macroeconomic environment compared to last year. So we actually have to expect that this year consumer spending habits will be very similar to last year's. So what does that actually mean? Like traditionally,
that was like, what the fuck does that even mean?
Wait, no, yeah, exactly. What does that mean? So traditionally, before last year, ad monetization was very large, like saw very large increases for about 10 to 14 days in December to the run up of Christmas Eve. And that gave birth to this fucking bullshit term that I hated so much called Q5.
Oh man. Q5 is a very well-known term for
Yeah,
years.
but it's
Hearing it for the first time.
Really?
What? You? Are you living under the
Really?
rock or what? Like
You're not
an
joking.
idiot?
You're not joking.
No.
I mean, I even mentioned it on like last year podcast. What the fuck?
Maybe it was too long ago.
Jesus Christ. Q5 is just it's like
He's playing
the most,
Baldur's Gate.
the worst term ever. But yeah.
Yeah, anyway, bullshit term, and basically you use it when you saw massive like bumps in ad revenue. So normally what happened during these peak moments was that you have your normal baseline of gaming ads, and typically in mobile ad monetization, they take up about 80 or 90% of your fill in in-app advertising. That's the baseline, right? So during Christmas, these impressions are also starting to look very appealing to branding and e-commerce. So this in turn like pushes up the demand.
He's already yawning. He's bored.
Yeah.
Oh,
Because game designers don't care about like the monetizing of their games. Exactly. They don't want to do it. But me and Matej are in the trenches trying to make these games money. So,
exactly.
Pay attention.
Pay attention so you don't ask like, what Q5? I just
making money through IPs, man. What they're talking about.
Yeah. How many special offers have you now prepared for this like Q4, Mr. In-app revenue? We'll see.
100.
Let's see, Mr. 100 IIPs.
So anyway, e-commerce branding comes in, and then basically that increases the demand for the slots, and basically the supply doesn't really change. That means the price goes up, which means that traditionally for the last 2 weeks of Christmas in December, basically eCPMs went up 50 or 70%, which was great. So with the downturn last year, things looked very different, and there was no Q5. Everyone was talking about it, and it never happened. So there was barely a 20% increase in eCPMs during these traditional weeks. But the big difference was that Black Friday saw a massive boom, and it was bigger than ever before. So if you think about it, it kind of makes sense. So people, when like their wallets are a bit squeezed, like basically they do their holiday shopping earlier to get their cheaper prices, and Black Friday is like perfectly situated to do this. So this means that the new like low turn or like low economy slowdown Admon holiday is no longer December, but is Black Friday. So that means that Admon people now need to pay attention to Black Friday instead of
I'm most probably gonna zoom in on on Jakub's faces. It's too bad. Like the camera doesn't do it anymore. The camera,
exactly.
Why is the camera not doing it anymore?
I turned it off because you wanted to turn it off.
Yeah, exactly.
Why? No, now it was.
I miss the sunglasses.
Amazing. It would be amazing.
Anyway, okay. So last year I looked up the historic averages. So last year on Black Friday, eCPMs went up between 30 to 50%, depending on the client accounts. So. That means, given that we're in this new economic climate, that means that Admon managers have to plan a bit differently, since in the past, you basically had this long road up to Christmas, and right now you actually have to deal with just a boom that's for a day or two, right? So that means you have to think about it very differently on how to maximize ad revenues. So what I'm telling my clients right now, since it's 1 day, and only 1 day where you see your gains that used to be over 3 weeks, you have to start playing around with the supply. So I have been telling my clients that on Thursday evening, the day before Black Friday, you should decrease your cooldown timers on interstitials or by like 30 or 40%. So you actually increase the amount of impressions you're getting for only 1 day, because essentially, since it's a 1 day bump, you don't have to be as mindful with the retention as you usually have to be if it's over a 3-week process. So what I'm going to do with all my clients is on Thursday evening before Black Friday, when everyone's decreasing their cooldown timers, I'm going to do GAM and Admon refreshes on all ad units. And what I'm hoping to do is Rima's going to like this because he's going to understand it, a pincer movement, if you will, on maximizing both demand and supply while ECPMs are already high.
What do you think about that, Rima?
Rima will tell you. Pincer movement?
No.
When two armies pretty much are encircling the other army.
Okay.
I included the pincer part because I knew Rima would be drifting off.
All right,
essentially what I'm trying to say is right now, since Black Friday is coming up and it's only one day where you're going to probably see the highest ECPMs until next year's Black Friday, what I'm saying is do everything in your power to maximize impressions on that day and decrease banner refresh rates as much as possible, decrease cooldown timers, increase how many impressions you're showing, and at the same time do add mob and gam refreshes because it's probably the last time you can actually do it before it gets deprecated. So this is the last Black Friday.
Oh, last Black Friday. Okay. Well, you can refresh these gam and add mob units until the end of the year multiple times.
You can probably do it for a bit longer, but this is the last Black Friday that's ever going to happen. But I'm just saying, try to maximize it. And the big difference is, since it's only for one day that you're trying to maximize it, you can actually play around with impressions a bit as well to increase the amount of supply.
So TLDR is spam players with interstitials on Friday.
No, Thursday afternoon or evening.
Thursday afternoon to Friday. Yeah.
Okay.
Or just do it the whole weekend until the Cyber Monday, and that's fine.
Until the retention completely collapses.
That was honestly,
one day.
If you do it on one day,
interstitials that can really kill things if you do it for too long.
Yeah, but the thing is, even one day can piss off a lot of people, which could be. Well,
are you running any A/B tests on this field?
Oi. Most probably
for Black Friday? Absolutely not. No, it's time to get the money.
Okay, that's just saying permanent damage to retention. You heard it from here.
No, we need to put it into not soft. This doesn't count as soft launch sonar or review radar, but we need to check these statements and then do a post-mortem if this worked and how it worked.
I guess it will work because it's just temporary for some time.
It's just one day.
It's just 24 hours, And honestly, last year ECPMs were up 35 to 55%, right? So you can justify it quite a lot, especially
good trick.
Yeah. Okay.
Is that a compliment? Nice.
Sounds like that.
Possibly.
But only because of the pincer movement.
I thought I'd win him over there, yeah. At least you learned something, Matej, as well, right?
Yeah, of course.
Q5.
So, Matej, should we movements fucking Rima right now so we can talk about the UA portion of today?
Yeah, I'm not sure even if I can even continue after this.
Yeah, go. You need to go second, Matej.
No, don't worry. It's going to be quite quick, I think, because we need 5 hours for your Softlaunch Sonar.
Jakub's soliloquy.
And I was just hoping finally there's not going to be any video in the podcast, so the post-production is going to be easy. But now I know it's not going to be easy. I buy my time. Thank you very much.
You know how hard it is to do these things.
I know. Very similar to as hard as I do it in post-production. Anyway, so 5 tips for killer UA. So I started doing this web blog series a year and a half ago, I think. This was already my 5th article, and I just kind of pinpointed few different articles and few different tips from different articles, so I can share it in here as well, because the first one was really well received, and then every other was also very well received. So I think I can speak about these tips in here as well. But it's gonna be 5 only. Usually it's 11. So if you wanna read those, subscribe to the newsletter.
Look, he looks more excited for your thing than he did for mine.
A little bit, yeah, I know, because he's the second best UA manager on the podcast. It's also maybe that's also the trick.
First of all, rude.
I know, but also true.
Truth hurts.
Yeah, I know. That's it's very hard to hear these things. Anyway, so first tip, the hook, and And we already kind of teased this a little bit because we were like showing different hooks and different game reviews, and there are like few companies that are doing these hooks very well. So we're gonna kind of have this award, which is gonna be called Captain Hook of the Year 2023, because Felix already mentioned it in like the previous podcast. So what is the hook all about? I know, the producing the creatives, it's not easy, but I think we need to look into a hook, which is kind of like first 1 to 4 seconds of the creatives, and it is always like the most important part, because you're kind of trying to capture the player's attention, and with something like powerful attention grabbing hooks, draws them into I keep watching the creative actually. So you should ensure that the hook is kind of related to the game, at least in some way, because obviously if you have a strategy game and then suddenly there is like I don't know, what's like Hero Wars kind of hook. There's the main hero climbing up the lady,
exploding toilets, and
exploding toilets and all of this.
out of cleavage.
Yes, exactly, something like that. So I would say Century games with Whiteout Survival, and obviously this like winter theme, they're using a lot of real life hooks with like snow and freezing the nature and all of the like different things, which is
there's literally ice cream in the ads.
Ice cream, yeah, why not? It's quite interesting and quite good, and also like definitely grabbing the attention. So I think also when it's related to the game, it's the hook kind of enters the smooth tradition from the initial hook to keep following the key message of the creative, and hooks makes really a difference. And as I said, I think the masters of the hooks are the Century games, but like we have different games and gaming studios, so, and also different creatives. I will put all of these together, and then we can actually vote. But how can you think about the hook? So what I do usually is kind of like run static images in the creative testing, and take the winner of this test and kind of use it in the video, which is usually connected to showing like very similar gameplay. Or I'm doing like Century games type of things, where I just took interesting videos from YouTube using first 3 seconds of the video, and bam, there you go. You have a hook, obviously. But I also used Midjourney and AI to produce these static images for the creative testing, and then translated that into the videos. So you have 3 different scenarios how you can think about it. And again, the Captain Hook of the Year 2023, it's going to be announced at the end of the year. Then we have memes, and this is quite, I would say, controversial theme. Because nobody knows if you can use the memes in the creatives because of the legal issues and all of the fun stuff. But the thing is, like, nobody cares that much. Oh, well, depends. If you work with a big company, then their legal team usually cares much, but not anybody else. Anyway,
isn't it dependent on the meme? Like, I mean, if it's like
yes.
a famous actor's face or something, like I guess you won't be using that.
Yes, yeah. That's most probably not. I had this like one scenario and one meme when I used. There was this like guy playing on a drum, and there was a cat just going around him. So we used this in like a cat kind of related apps, and this guy actually reached out to us, like, "Hey guys, like, what the fuck? Why are you using my video? Like, look, so we're using it. Do you want some money?" Yes, and that was it, basically.
How much do you have to pay him?
500 euros. It was quite cheap.
How come the cat bongo drummer costs the same as the porn star that you used in the video?
The thing is, because it was a long time ago and I used Johnny Sins, it's not the same these days on Cameo anymore, because I have the license forever, basically, for 500. Now it's limited for like a few months, and it's way more expensive. So, well, I got it very early. I was very very early, I guess.
So you can still use him?
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
No. Like I can feel.
I can see the Vice article title: "How I got the rights to using Johnny's sins for mobile ad
for a long time,
for the rest of my life."
Yeah, but the thing is, like, it's connected to one game and one game only. So,
which game are you allowed to say?
No.
Okay.
Unfortunately, no. That's the part of the anyway memes. So thinking about the creative ideas, I would say I'm usually looking outside of gaming, and like memes usually come into my face when I just browse Facebook or Instagram or like random pages. Like any go-to websites for memes, guys. Like where
Reddit.
Reddit, 4chan, 9gag, obviously.
Like for me, the best memes, or like let's say the most memes, I learn always from some kind of like very specific gaming community, where it's kind of used within the usual content that like is in the feed of the whatever Discord, Reddit, something. So there's like stuff that everybody's like asking, like FAQ or some kind of like really important stuff, and then it's kind of stitched with fluff, which is most of the time memes.
Okay. Yeah, because like if you have great meme or video, you can recreate that for your game, right? So it doesn't need to be very much connected to games. But
Red Shadow Legends has offers done with games, by the way. Like there's Leo's face and like stuff like that.
Oh, nice! Really? Okay. All right. Well, kind of, it can be also AI generated and all of like the different things. But yeah, definitely memes are something to use. I used memes recently with Pickle Pete, and it was just, it exploded immediately. Not only people from the industry started sending us messages, but also the performance was amazing. So yeah, okay. Then I usually have this discussion on like a monthly basis about like localizing kind of creatives. Oh, yeah, thank you. What are you fucking sharing? Destroying my weekend.
Why is, by the way, still like sharing is so low?
Because sharing is I know.
Yeah, I wanted to add my tidbit to the discussion, but it seems like the share software is kind of very, very slow.
Sharing is not caring on Riverside.
Yeah,
there you go. Yeah, I saw this.
Here we are.
Nice. That's perfect.
Yeah, so they're using it.
Cheers. But the thing is, this is not Leo, right? So it's just like the concept.
That's the thing.
Leo from Wish. It's Leo from Wish.
Recreate the memes.
Yeah, recreate the memes. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
So I'd say usually, like how many times I recreated the Drake meme? It's like so many times. Anyway, so I want to say the discussion I usually have around localization of the creatives and localization of the game in Softlaunch, and where to kind of look into different countries and localizing for these countries. I mean, usually it can improve the numbers, the localization of French, German, Spanish, Italian, or whatever else, like by 10-20% maybe. I mean, I wouldn't expect more. I mean, as we understood from our South Korea visit, it makes a lot of sense in Asia, right? no Sherlock. What a revelation. But how should you go about like the localizing of your creatives and game, right? So I would say just look at your top 10 countries in terms of revenue, and look at the resources and money, and then kind of try to add like 10% uplift on the revenue side, and try to calculate if the costs are calculate the cost versus the potential gain. Because usually localizing game and localizing games is not super cheap, but localizing creatives, you can do it with AI these days anyway. So let's say you have a very strong community in France, and your game is text heavy. Well, let's say you could add maybe 20% uplift to the equation, for example. So maybe in that case it would make a lot of sense. But I wouldn't put too much effort into localizing the game. It's like, in general, if the game is or like UA is not hitting the goals, the localization won't help that much. It won't move the needle. Sometimes people are just relying on like, oh well, we should localize the game because that's the expectation.
Written in the books.
Yeah, that's exactly. Like those are like
maybe try ads before trying localization.
Yeah, but there's like you mean ads as rewarded videos and interstitials, or ads
source of revenue?
So
source of revenue.
Okay. By the way, would you say it would be preferred, or let's say if you're really like a pro and you have very, very high budget, to run like custom creatives for each country if they're kind of big enough?
So that's the thing.
I always wanted to ask this, like if it would be, let's say, French creatives versus US creatives versus Spain ones or whatever.
So usually when you have a high budget, then you try to put the geos into the tiers rather than just geo-specific countries. It's also because France or I don't know, Germany, it's way smaller country than the US, so the potential reach is lower. In that case, even if you use the localized creatives, it can work for a short period of time, but then it's gonna get like more and more expensive. So you wouldn't anyway like need to kind of
because the inventory is so small regarding just like the local whatever French people inventory.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, some people or some companies in games do it, but then like the overall budget on the, let's say, France is small. But if you put it into like a bigger geo bucket, which is like tier 1, and you use English creatives, then obviously like the whole budget for that one campaign with multiple countries can be way bigger than when you just run it in France, for example. And I ran these A/B tests before, and like even if, I mean, France is quite specific, but even for Germany, even for France, actually, if it matters, like I ran English versus French. Sometimes it doesn't make any, like there's no difference. So
if I had to ask you a question, if you had a big budget, right, like a really big budget, bigger than any creative budget you already had, right, would you localize creatives or would you hire Pedro Pascal?
Well, in that case, I would localize creatives.
Okay.
No, but honestly, if you have bigger budgets and like I said, like if you don't have the community in France, I mean, like, what's the point? I was just like trying to maximize the potential reach, and just putting geos into tiers makes way more sense. Yeah, way more sense. Because you can put more budgets, and it's like we discussed a million times before. It's now these days about low amount of campaigns with higher potential reach in those campaigns. So you can put like a lots of budget on like I guess those countries and campaigns. So yeah, I wouldn't localize unless it's a Pedro Pascal versus localization. In that case, it would be localization. Yeah. All right. So let's then get back to creatives, actually, because there's also like one interesting thing that we usually do with the team, and like how to write a creative brief, because creative brief is super important. So everybody knows like what's going to happen, right? Some people can just have like a written creative brief. Some people are just required to have a storyboards as well, where you just put a lot of different images and kind of like walk through the creative and how it's going to happen. But now I'm going to give you a crash course on writing a killer creative brief for your game. So first, obviously, start with a clear and concise project overview. This is like the opening cutscene that sets the stage for your creative team. Then, obviously, define the target audience. Who are they? What makes them tick? This is like choosing the character class in your game. Then lay out your objectives, and are you looking to increase installs, boost engagement, or monetize? All right. So usually I like to monetize, and I'm kind
choose your quests.
Yeah, exactly. I like to get more ROAS, obviously. It's everybody, but then some creatives are just meant to increase the overall DAUs, for example. After that, just provide insights and inspiration. So think of this as a secret level that unlocks creative brilliance. Fire up those external creative tools, which we have right now for our 2.5 gamers. Thank you, Sensor Tower. And then obviously some internal benchmarks to prepare the numbers and trends, so you can actually see what was working before, what wasn't working before, because that's also important. And bring those insights into the brainstorming session. And then include any guidelines, specs, requirements, because there are also like for different IPs and then legal lines and all of these like bullshit. It's obviously connected to IP, then like you just include those so everybody knows there are rules for your game. And then remember that the good creative brief is like well-crafted tutorial level. It guides your team towards a success. So let's have an example. So we have a mid-core game which is about global launch. So the main target audience are males like 35 plus, let's say from Asia.
Can you pick a real game? Like
maybe no? Yes, maybe no. Well,
okay.
Nobody will ever know that. We want to use these creatives during the global launch, and focusing on effective budget increase rather than just the big splash. So we are gonna just increase the budget slowly. So we have some data from Softlaunch about the best performing creatives, and we would like to stay relevant to the gameplay as much as possible. So let's say our main competitors are Survivor.io, Legend of Slime, Top War. Now let's brainstorm and come up with like 5 to 6 creative concepts. There you go.
What game are you making if these are all competitors?
Just come out like, what are you talking about? Well, it's a hypothetical example. Let's say maybe not.
Honkai Star Rail.
No, but just like I most probably no. Just hope you get the point. Anyway, then we have one final thing which is called best performing UA channels. So there's also like these discussions on LinkedIn, Facebook, different groups saying like, should you be doubling down on your best performing UA channel or rather than just exploring new channels and diversify? UA diversification, here we are. So you should focus on the channels where you have the most impact and balance the work behind it. Obviously, if you have one channel, the buzz factor kind of applies here, because if you rely on one channel and the channel for some reason gets destroyed by Apple or any other company, this can be very dangerous. So don't listen to like loud CEOs outside of UA that don't have very like experience on the UA field. It can get you in trouble because some people were saying that you should double down on, let's say, Google, which is like 90% of your budget. What happens if Google goes away? Very hypothetical, could happen because it happened to Facebook before. Now you know where Facebook is. If your 80% of spend goes to AppLovin, it's also very dangerous. So instead, you should kind of like try to have a healthy balance between the UA channels. So let's say UA channel A is 20% of your spend, channel B is 25, C, D, E, just 25, 10, and 10%. So you have like 100%, right? It's easy, right? Oh, well, it's not actually easy because obviously, especially when like UA channel B is able to scale to hundreds of thousands and get you amazing ROAS. But, of course, you should take advantage of that. But think about the future. So this can be very dangerous, right? So you can scale that, but then also have like a backdoor and try to increase the other UA channels and the budgets over there, because your competitor know this, and they're already thinking 2 steps ahead. And then we have a bonus tip, obviously, but it's like super effective creative research that we discussed with Mr. Jakub over here, because he was at the one conference and he shared this before. So you should find a very strong...
I was waiting where this was put in the whole guide, finally.
Yes. So you should find a very strong competitor and look into the audience overlap, put the target on their back, and assess all the creatives with the most impressions. Look for the recent winners in the last 30 days and evergreen concepts in the last year. So don't try to reinvent the wheel. Just produce like 3 to 5 creatives, and it could be just like exact copy, 1-to-1. Like just do it and iterate winners from here. Because obviously you should just check our creative trend videos, and because your research is done afterwards, because we already did it for you. But just don't reinvent the wheel. Even if you copy 1-to-1, just fuck it, it's fine. Look at what Kingdom Guard is doing. Like they copied Rush Royale almost 1-to-1, and now they're iterating from there. So that's it. That's it from my end.
Yeah, sounds great.
Can you include a creative brief in the show notes, you think, if you anonymize it a bit, just to show what it looks like?
Sure.
Nice.
Yeah, this was the part I was looking for. Like, look at what currently Nexters is doing and copy their fake tower game, whatever new trending concept is into your creatives.
Yeah. Well, but the thing is, like, even if you copy Hero Wars, it's not as easy because you need to think about the whole experience with the fake ads. We talked about it a million times before.
Yeah, it's not that easy.
It's not that easy.
Faking is hard, unfortunately.
Yeah, fake it till make it. Yeah, it doesn't work that easy.
Okay, any last thoughts for you, eh?
No, we can move to Softlaunch Sonar.
Yeah,
actually.
Okay, let's go.
Let's go.
Okay.
Are you gonna put in the sound effect?
Beep, beep, beep. Of course,
the summary sound effect.
Of course, I put it in the last podcast. What are you talking about? Here. Well, I know these people.
Exactly. Yeah. So this is the third version of Sonar, where we pick kind of games that I think are important. There's no really some kind of a special order or like special rule. It's just that the game needs to be kind of noteworthy, expected. Like, I would say pretty big publishers or let's say companies behind them, and they should be all in soft launch. But this time, I think we're kind of seeing some kind of a new trend where soft launches are not happening as soft launches, but more like beta releases.
No. Wait. You're talking about like Supercell. That's like different.
There's like 5 different games in the Sonar running the exact same setup.
But they're big companies.
Yes, they're all big companies. So it means if you're a big company, you don't run soft launches, you've done beta tests?
No. Because if you're a big company, you're a fucking idiot.
Wait, what?
Because like you have a lot of money, you can do obviously whatever you want. And like this is the most dangerous thing, because then like small companies
too much money, absolutely, 100%.
And then the small companies look into these like strategies and say, oh well, Supercell is doing it, we can do it as well. Please don't.
There's only one Supercell.
You don't have like so much.
You can do what
so
Supercell does because only Supercell can do that.
Then,
anyway. Starting the Sonar with the first game, which is Moko, which we played 2 podcasts ago, and you can go directly see it as Matej is playing it
of course.
live on our channel. It's the new action RPG game, beta tested, not soft launch, beta tested. The beta test started on 25th of October, ended on 7th or 6th, don't remember, of November, and now pretty much there's just like a survey. I checked it in the Discord, that's it. We'll see how this one goes. Seems very, very promising. A lot of people think this is the continuation of Clash Heroes, which they never said anything else about from the announcement, and it was also an action RPG done for the team in China. And this dropped then the Clash Universe IP. So we'll see how this one goes. Looks definitely interesting. And I would say, I'm kind of very intrigued by the choice of like streamlined Path of Exile system where there's no character classes or skill trees or something.
It's I gotta say, Remo, very lazy start to soft launch Sonar. We did this like 2 weeks ago.
This is like literally one of the biggest soft launches on the market. So what should I say?
Which is not even soft launch.
Exactly. So definitely we're going to talk about it because it's very interesting. So
okay, move on.
Yeah, move on. Okay.
I don't want to look at my face.
Cookie Run, Tower of Adventures. Ooh. So there's a new game from Dev Sisters, which is the company behind Cookie Run Kingdom. And it seems it's to be a multiplayer action adventure in the Cookie Run universe.
G-Star reveal. Fuck me.
Yeah, and there's going to be G-Star reveal. So
we need to go there. Man, we need to go there.
Exactly. So we're going to see it next week, G-Star. And it seems...
Well, this week, because this is going to be live on Monday.
Yeah, okay. So you're pretty much listening to it. We are probably somewhere on our endless way to South Korea.
Yes.
And the game, as I said, like follows now IP of Cookie Run, which is the famous RPG that has, I think, like 50-50 gender split or something like that.
That's interesting.
Why we haven't talked about it yet?
We never talk about it. Like sometimes I think I talk about, but this game is like amazing. Even the main one makes like, I don't know, like 50 million a month or something. Like giant Asian game.
I think you need to talk about this, Remo.
Sometimes we will. I guess when this releases, we can do like a full rundown of all the Cookie Run stuff. That would be good.
Okay.
Yeah, so this thing, as I said, is going to be shown on G-Star. There's even really like 9 nice web
We can
page for it.
play. We can play
Where there's
G-Star
like $10 daily prizes. If you register, you are able to win. Like
who cares about $10?
I'm just saying, like how they're running their test, man. So anyway, yeah. So here's the schedule. We can probably try to catch it on Friday. We'll see. Influencer showdown or whatever. Yeah. So this is
gonna be millions of people. Jeez. Okay.
No, it's not gonna half the game's cost the size. We'll see. Anyway, so that was Cookie Run Tower of Adventures, which will be revealed properly on G-Star this week. Then we have Elder Scrolls Castles from Bethesda.
No.
Yes.
Oh my God! Is this Hustle Castle?
No, this is not Hustle Castle.
Well, Fallout Shelter.
Yes, because
Hustle Castle is Fallout Shelter, basically.
No, Hustle Castle is a lot of innovation on top of Fallout Shelter.
Okay.
This seems again to be some kind of more innovative because there's this kind of Reigns mechanic. If you know the game Reigns, which is the game that looks like Tinder, where you have just cards and you swipe to left to right. Where there's the.
How do you know?
How do I know what?
Tinder.
See, even I know
salty dog.
Like not Q5s.
Wow.
Anyway, so there seems to be some kind of rain mixed into it, which is the like story plotline twist, like your decisions have some kind of impact or whatever. There's this kind of a big play on the usual kind of dynasty, having children, building the kingdom, blah 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 blah. There's the usual kind of a end colony view, or how should I say it, like you seeing the castle like your end colony, and you're building the rooms for them. I didn't find that this is literally like a 40-minute playthrough video, and I didn't find any combat in it. So I don't know if I missed it or they haven't really revealed it or what. Like, but this is fully soft launch now. So
fully soft launch, okay.
Yeah, this is not beta like the other ones. This is soft launch, but yeah, I don't know if I did miss them or there's no combat in it because I don't know. Like, it's just
do we need to have a combat in this game?
Hustle Castle has combat if you are referring to Hustle Castle. Fallout Shelter has some kind of a, let's say, passive combat. You like send the guys there and they fight in the wilderness, they return or whatever. They need to have stats. So this seems kind of just much more simulation in this and kind of much more calming. Don't know. Yeah, but
boring,
it's interesting.
You mean?
Calming.
Yeah, boring.
That's what you say. Because there was already like Elder Scrolls Blades, which I think is still sitting somewhere in some Bethesda portfolio account, which was that Skyrim with 12-hour chests that people literally, go crazy about. Didn't do anything. So yeah, let's see how this one fares, because it's I would say a little bit of like the non-combat innovation towards Fallout Shelter or like Hustle Castle. Let's see. But yeah, I guess the Reigns influence seems to be more into it, like the one where you can affect the story. It's kind of more like, I think, roguelite a little bit. Don't know. Let's see like how this one goes. But seems like, yeah, the usual standard AAA company having a mobile game.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and I saw that free button right now. It could have been an ad placement. It's just like
very good feelings already.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So that was Elder Scrolls Castles. Continuing forward, Eve Galaxy Conquest. And guess what?
Are you only doing hardcore games today?
No, I'm not gonna. Don't worry, there will be better games.
Yeah.
Guess the genre of this game.
Hardcore.
Matej?
Let's see. Oh, that's fucking 4X.
Exactly.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's a 4X game. This was soft launch actually 2nd of November, if I got it right. As
soon as you have that map in there.
Yeah,
even though it's moving troops.
It's space. Yeah. But it's actually
space.
Actually perfect for like Eve fantasy. Like this is literally how Eve is played. Like long distances, ships, kind of conquering stuff in space and so on. Like it could feel pretty natural. But the question is that like, is this for Eve people or like 4X people?
Exactly.
Because sci-fi, like say goodbye to your CPI. But on the other.
Would be just the highest CPI award
of the year.
Yeah, of the year.
Yeah, but on the other hand, like Eve people, they're like super core. Like even playing Eve, like getting into Eve, like you're super core. Like why would you play a mobile game if you like that core.
Yeah, exactly.
So like I don't know.
Only if
they already had like some
PC.
some VR games with Eve IP before and like stuff like that. Like I just increased the awareness for the Eve brand because Eve is still going strong. I mean the MMORPG.
It's super strong.
See, now he's yawning.
I know.
So yeah, seems kind of a little bit of mismatch for the audience for my taste, but yeah, let's see how this one fares because again, very very known IP, but I guess not that known on mobile. Let's see. Okay. This one's very interesting, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Of course you are.
So,
this is your game.
One Punch Man World is a new open world action RPG that will be a completely cross-platform game, so something similar to like Genshin or Honkai Star Rail. It's currently in pre-registration. There's not like yet release set in stone. I think I saw the giant booth at Gamescom of this, and probably we'll see something more of it at G-Star. Let's see.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. For those who don't know, One Punch Man is like one of the most popular animes last years. It's literally an anime about the guy that wins every fight with single punch, and it's like amazing concept. And the thing is that as I was looking through some of the things here, by the way, they have amazing website, amazing pre-registration campaign already. It seems, amazing. It seems there's already like past 1 million pre-registrations in this kind of
nice. These milestones, I like these milestones.
See, that's clever. That's
like
really
clever.
clever.
These guys are very, very kind of high production value. As I said, the IP is very, very known. This is done by Perfect World and Crunchyroll. Perfect World, like one of the biggest Chinese developers of MMORPGs. So yeah,
Crunchyroll is who I know the game.
Crunchyroll is like the anime streaming company.
Okay.
So they probably, I don't know who owns the rights for One Punch Man, but whatever. Yeah. So the interesting part, like this was really nice. There was a beta test, and there's gonna be a second beta test. You can pre-register for that. Nobody knows when, but it seems like there's completely story mode gameplay. It completely follows the anime part, which like genius move because it's like so satisfying with this anime. Where literally, like for instance, this sequence when Saitama gets like ambushed by random underworld guys from whatever, some kind of something, and he finally gets his kind of, let's say, thrill experience or fighting an opponent that's like pretty, let's say, on the same level, like somewhere here, the king. I just notice how the combat is kind of pretty much fleshed out. It's not a usual hack and slash. It seems there's some kind of a like anime sequences weave into it, quick time events. It's not like the usual action RPG. So yeah, it's gonna be very interesting because think about it, that it's gonna be in open world plus on top of it.
How the fuck you can play this on mobile?
It's like, how can you play Honkai Star on a mobile? Like this is
I don't. That's
I don't either. So yeah,
this is the new generation of mobile games which are not mobile. This is completely cross-platform. They are announcing it's for PC, Android, iOS, all of it. So this seems that this could be like, I would put it like Genshin-like games, which means that there's same amount of resources poured into it.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. Like it's more coming from the east rather than the west.
Of course, because they have the manpower.
Yeah,
I just can't imagine how much manpower was like slotted into this. Yeah, the best part about this sequence that like finally when he kind of gets to defeat this guy, of course with one punch. It seems that it was all in his dreams, and he wakes up because there's of course nobody strong enough to face him in the real world. So I'm really looking forward to this game. Like I just like there will be one more game on the Sonar that's kind of trying to do the same thing here. But yeah, I'm very, very, very excited like how this will fare regarding the whole Genshin, Honkai Star Rail, and like pretty much this whole like giant cross platform open world RPG market, which is getting very, very, very packed up recently. See, this is the part.
Yeah, man, that's such cheap writing. It was all a dream.
Yeah, it's so good. Okay, let's continue. EA Sports FC.
Ooh.
So the game Softlaunch September 28th, which is like the turn-based take on football, sitting currently on EA's account. Remember, there's no FIFA brand anymore. which
of course,
was
no FIFA, but it's always
because their
gonna be
CEO
called
managed
FIFA.
to ruin it.
Yeah, so they already sold their new kind of known FIFA EA pretty well. So I guess
Because
we
everybody
won't see FIFA anymore in video game brands, or at least
cares.
not that expensive.
Everybody's gonna call it FIFA anyway.
Yeah, the gameplay itself seems kind of interesting, where you see just this kind of a overview top of the players, and then suddenly when they kind of get into some interaction, there's like a skill check or whatever, like critical, intercept, whatever, as you see, and then it plays animations. So it's not your usual kind of a FIFA game where you like control the thing. It kind of auto plays itself. So yeah, suits kind of pretty well suited on mobile. I think I saw like a few other games doing this kind of turn-based football before, so this is a kind of high production take on that. So there were definitely like similar games on the market like that before. Let's see. Continuing further, AEV Rise to the Top from Eastside Games, which is another one of their spin on their usual idle genre game with WrestleMania. Oh, is it IP? If I understand correctly. Don't quote me on this. I'm not really well versed in this.
AEW is the competitor to WWE.
Yeah, okay. So the other wrestling association in America, if I get it right. Okay.
The other wrestling.
So it seems that the usual thing, like just from this image here, you can see like the scaling of the idle journey that they have there. Seems very, very similar to like Trailer Park Boys or something like that.
They basically have built this with Idle Kit, which is their like kit that they build idle games with.
Kit. Yeah. Okay, because they're kind of good in like putting IPs into that kit. I guess like there's Trailer Park Boys is an IP.
Story-driven IP games.
Yeah,
story-driven idle IP games.
Yeah, Always Sunny in Philadelphia, I think, is the second one IP, and then this is again an IP. Like all those are IP. So let's see. As I was looking, it's the typical like character progressions, loot boxes, like the usual take, which is kind of very heavy IP. So let's see how this goes. But yeah, nice to see like if this formula is still working. Okay, continuing further. Guess which this game is?
Ooh.
So Fashion Wears Fashion Your Way, which is published by Tilting Point, and this is actually a little bit of iteration from our usual suspects, which is Design Home and Redecor, where you have something between an app and a game.
Yeah.
Where, of course, there's like gamified experience or redecorating something. So as I'm looking at it, it seems that you can not only kind of select just the clothes, but also some kind of a furniture on top. If I see see, so you can even put stuff there. So it's both clothes and furniture. So I guess it's kind of iteration on the usual formula that we see on the market. I don't know. It's just like
the question is soft launch.
Yeah, this is soft launch. But the thing is that this is soft launch for June 20th, 2022. What
the fuck did you find this game?
You can pre-register for it now.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, but how did you find it?
Yeah. Just scanning around like everything I can, like all the soft launch games, accounts of companies, whatever. Everywhere.
You started being lazy with like Moco, and now you're proving your worth. Oh, I never doubted you.
So yeah, by the way, that's the best way to find soft launch games. Just go top 100 grossing and check the companies by their game portfolios by release date ordered and pick the last ones. That's usually the soft launch games.
This looks quite interesting, though. I gotta say.
Yeah. Again, my question is if there's enough space on the market for like another game, because I think kind of Redecor went into kind of big decline after Playtica's acquisition, as they
there is always space, but not probably the same amount of revenues that they had.
And
have now. So
yeah,
you can earn money now on this type of game.
But seems kind of interesting again. Like I think that market is kind of underserved a little bit still, where there's not enough of these like games like apps. But yeah, let's see. It looks very promising, to be honest, just from the gameplay. Okay, this one is very special. Dark and Darker.
Yeah, Dark and Darker mobile. Okay.
So this was already covered in Matej's newsletter by our friend Dr. Doom, which means that this game is still in lawsuit. Because the short history of it is that Dark and Darker was very popular on Steam, literally reached like 60k CCU, and then got cease and desist letter from Nexon because they alleged that it's part of their kind of old project that the team that left Nexon took with them, or some kind of shenanigans. I don't know. So they had to be taken down from Steam. Then they put the game on torrents to give it to players for beta testing. Now you can buy it. Now you can, because Iron Mace is the developer, and then you can directly go and buy the game on their website. Like right now, I mean the PC version, and in the meantime, Krafton acquired exclusive rights for a mobile port of the game. Krafton being the studio behind Bluehole, behind the studio behind PUBG. So why this is a pretty good match, because this game is an iteration on PUBG, because it's a battle royale game. Let's check the PC version a little bit here. So it's pretty much like a, you could think like looks like Skyrim or something, but it's like a little bit of dungeoneering experience when you go there. There's some kind of a labyrinth that you see on the bottom, but you already see the red circle around on the map, which is the blue zone, the usual one that's gonna get smaller and smaller. And you go in it and you kill people and you take their stuff. Where have you seen this formula before? So
PUBG.
Exactly. The other iteration that is not only Dungeon Fighter and a Battle Royale is the extraction mechanic. And this could be the topic of next year within these kind of Battle Royale iteration. Extraction means that you take the stuff. That's why there was like so much treasure in the like opening trailer. You take the stuff when you win the level and you bring it to your kind of base, and then you can decide if you want to bring it with you to next level, giving you basically an advantage. Because in PUBG games, or let's say Battle Royale games, you always start with nothing. Here, they kind of increase the thrill, or let's say the stakes, by you having stuff that you can lose, which you have worked for in previous games, so on and so forth. So it seems it's a proven mechanic because of their like amazing CCU on Steam that they reached. I don't think so they're going to be returning to Steam anytime soon until that lawsuit gets kind of resolved. But I think it was returned back to Korea or something.
That looks like Diablo 2 so much.
Which this one? Yeah, the environment's like very dark and green.
And also the inventory.
Yeah. See, that was the zone coming at the person and like already eating through his health. Yeah. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to what we'll see at G-Star, because there's going to be more revealed there for the mobile one. The one that you see in here is
it's going to be quite packed.
Yeah, exactly.
Looking forward.
Yeah. Going to be very, very interesting. And I've saved the best for the last.
So tell us more.
And of
course, fuck me. Thank you very much for listening. Let's just fucking end it here.
So there's the Zenless Zone Zero, which is the long-awaited third open-world RPG from MiHoYo, or let's say Hoyoverse, the guys behind Genshin and Honkai Star Rail. This was already heavily showcased on Gamescom. They literally have like half of one hall, just like for them. It seems that they're continuing with their like, we're throwing as much manpower as we can on our projects, and even more than the previous one. Because
you see what I see, Matej?
This looks amazing. Yes, of course.
Yeah. No, it's like it's an anime. What are you talking about?
Oops. Exactly. No, well, this looks amazing.
Yeah, this is like literally looks like watching an anime. Like
it looks better actually. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is a very interesting thing here, is that this, like, I would thought that what they did is like, they're keeping the meta progression, and they would keep like Genshin is an open world RPG, Honkai Star is a turn-based RPG, completely different combat system, but the same progression. So I thought like, okay, they do another kind of different core gameplay and stick with the same progression. No, it seems this is kind of very close to Genshin, and it's a hack and slash combat with real time. Instead of watching a cinematic, we can actually watch the real gameplay.
Yes, please.
Yeah. So there's some boss fight here.
Ooh.
Wow.
Yeah.
That looks amazing.
Yeah, and it's pretty much, for me, it looks like much better Genshin. Because keep in mind that Genshin is pretty old now, in a way, like by mobile standards, I would say.
Yeah, okay, sure.
But this looks amazing. I was checking just like latest Genshin gameplay compared to this, and this is just like the whole kind of camera movement.
A different level.
different level, like just Genshin ×3 kind of level.
I'm getting the same
combat.
feeling like when I saw Final Fantasy for the first time. This is great.
Yeah, looks.
It's so great you will never play.
Yeah, of course not. It's not. Yeah, of course. I got shit to do.
That's
So
amazing.
yeah, looks literally amazing. Even though, again, I don't know what's the plan regarding the cannibalization strategy of their own portfolio, because I think this is the biggest problem of it all. Like, don't get me wrong, this game will be super successful. The question is, what will be the impact on their own portfolio, because they are literally competing against themselves again. The other interesting thing is that now that we have other competitors in the field, like the One Punch Man game I showed.
It's exactly like the One Punch game. Fact,
Yeah,
like I was like,
exactly.
what are like what games? Like this is the one.
Open world RPG is the next big thing. So this seems everybody is going after. So yeah,
everybody
I think
from Asia.
Yeah,
be careful. Be careful.
Because nobody in the West have the resources to pull
That's
it off.
true. Yeah.
That's the main reason.
Yeah, you would need to like employ like half of Slovakia to make this game.
and then the second half in the finish. So yeah, looks amazing. It seems like the combat fluidity and like the overall feeling of it, like yeah, it's literally just like very, very nice to watch. Even you can register on the second beta test already. They haven't announced anything yet, like when it's gonna happen, but yeah, that's pretty much it. I think they opened the test like now in November 2023 registration.
How many games did you review now? Just now? Like 10? 10. And 9 of them are from the East, right?
No.
8?
No.
How many?
So 1, 2, 3, 4.
What's your bias, man?
Yeah.
No. I thought it was a bit more than usual.
No. This is just 4. It's just
like
always more
games,
excited.
Man.
More excited with like coming from Asia. Like, oh, this is amazing.
It is. It really is.
Of course it is. All right.
Yeah. So that was it. Softlaunch Sonar version 3. Another 10 games. We'll see what happens. Keep them on our Sonar.
Of course. Amazing. Thank you very much. I think that's it, right?
That's it.
Yeah. See you at G-Star with all these reveals.
Yeah. See you at G-Star. Ping us on Slack. First join the Slack, then ping us on our Slack, and then we can definitely meet. It's actually the agenda is starting to fill up quite nicely.
Fast.
I would say. Yeah. No. It's finally. So in that case, enjoy the weekend. Oh well, we will enjoy the weekend because we're recording Friday. You enjoy the week ahead, and then see you next time. Thank you very much. Cheers.
Ciao.
Bye-bye.